The US Open has now reached the business end of the tournament. We have our women's finalists and we also have the men's finalists. The women's finals will see Iga Swiatek of Poland take on Ons Jabeur of Tunisia. This matchup itself is very, very historic, folks, for a couple of reasons. One, Iga Swiatek, a two-time French Open champion, will face off against one individual who is making big strides in the world of tennis from Africa and the Arab world. Remember this name, for Ons Jabeur is going to be an upcoming sensation and she's going to take the tennis world by storm. And she's already made the right noises heading into the US Open. Now, I will give you the head-to-head and what has the journey been for both these athletes in the US Open 2022. After that, I will also preview the men's final. So straight off, Swiatek versus Jabeur, the head-to-head record is very, very even, folks. In 4 matches, they have a 2-2 head-to-head record. 1-1 even on hard courts. The last meeting that they had in hard courts between Swiatek and Jabeur, Jabeur won in Cincinnati. But even in the Grand Slam, Jabeur last won the meeting in 2021 in the Wimbledon round of 16. She defeated Iga Swiatek in 3 sets. So, the Tunisian has got the number on Iga Swiatek, but 2-2 and with the pole superstar just showing some phenomenal tennis in the US Open, it is just a matter of time before Swiatek can add one more Grand Slam in addition to her 2 French Open titles. Now, who is Ons Jabeur? She has been making the right noises and, as I have said, her performances in the Grand Slam and the WTA events have been simply phenomenal. She's 28 years old and she hails from Tunisia. She's the first Arab woman to win a WTA tournament and she's also the first from Africa to reach the Grand Slam quarterfinal and the final. She had a chance to create history in 2022 Wimbledon itself. But in the final, she lost to Elina Rybakina and that probably upset her quest to create history. But successive Grand Slams later in the US Open, she now has a chance to overcome the pain that she suffered in Wimbledon. Now, looking at the Tunisian's journey in the US Open as well as Swiatek's journey, she has endured a much safer passage in the US Open. Why is that? She lost only 1 set in this entire tournament, Ons Jabeur, and that was to Shelby Rogers in the 3rd round. Dominant performances in all the other games, with the quarterfinals and the semifinals. On the other hand, Swiatek has lost 2 sets. She lost a set to Jules Niemöller of Germany and Aryna Sabalenka in the round of 16 and the semi-final respectively. That semi-final encounter against Sabalenka was very, very controversial because she had lost the first set and she went for a toilet break. After that, what happened? Sabalenka lost rhythm and the next 2 sets, Iga Swiatek won on a canter. But that toilet break that she took in the after the end of the first set did not go down well with many fans and they did not appreciate her win. So there is plenty of heat that Swiatek will be facing heading into the final, which will be played at 1:30 a.m. IST on September 11th. So we are just about 5.5 to 6 hours away from the final between Iga Swiatek and Ons Jabeur. More ways than one, we will see history being created, because when was the last time a Polish tennis player won the US Open? When was the last time a tennis player from Africa or the Arab world won a US Open Grand Slam, or any Grand Slam for that matter? You have to really, really rewind your memory to a long time back. We are done with the men and now we are done with the women, sorry, and now we are going to preview the men's final. Casper Ruud and the upcoming Spanish sensation Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz has been touted as the passing of the torch moment in tennis. Why? Because he is touted as Rafael Nadal's successor if it comes to Grand Slam successes. Carlos Alcaraz, you have to remember, folks, in the Madrid Open, he defeated Nadal and Djokovic in the same tournament and went on to win it. But in the French Open, he lost, but he was happy with the performance that he put up in. In the US Open, Alcaraz has been simply sensational for his never give up attitude. And the amount of time that he spent on court is simply staggering. Ruud versus Alcaraz, if you have to look at the head-to-head, it's clearly in Alcaraz's favor. 2-0 in both encounters that they have faced, one on clay, one on hard courts. Alcaraz has played, though, 3 consecutive 5-setters in the US Open. 4th round, quarterfinal, semi-final. The match against Yannick Sinner as well as against Francis Tiafoe, both combined took about 9 hours. If you look at the 4th round 5-setter, his combined match time is 13 hours. He spent 13 hours on the court, but in the game against Tiafoe, Alcaraz showed absolutely no fatigue. He was really running around in the court and he ensured that he gave Tiafoe a tough fight on every single point. But heading into the final, fatigue could play a factor, and that is why Casper Ruud might want to capitalize on it. But the head-to-head baggage, wherein he's not won a single game against him, might not favor Ruud heading into the final. As I had said, Alcaraz fatigue could benefit Ruud. Alcaraz has won Madrid Open beating Nadal and Djokovic. There is one more big impetus in this if anybody wins. The winner of the US Open will become the new world number 1. If Alcaraz or Ruud win, they become the new world number 1. And that is a big impetus to go for not just the title, but to get to the summit. We have seen in the US Open in the past that the big 3 of Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic do not dominate this as much as they dominate Australia, French and Wimbledon. Federer has faded away in the past couple of years, but Djokovic and Nadal, it's assured, they dominate Australia, French and Wimbledon. But the US Open, if you look at the last couple of seasons, the winners, they've all been newcomers. Dominic Thiem. Then you had even Daniil Medvedev, who ended Novak Djokovic's quest for a calendar Grand Slam in 2021. In 2022, we'll have a new winner because both Daniil Medvedev and Emma Raducanu, you'll have new champions in both the men and the women because both crashed out in the very early stages of the tournament. So who will it be? Alcaraz or Ruud in the final? Who are you picking? My pick is Alcaraz because his determination and his strength and the lack of fatigue despite being 13 hours on the court puts him in a different pedestal altogether. If it comes to Swiatek versus Jabeur, that's very close to call. I will say I have a slight edge that Iga Swiatek might win the US Open, but if Ons Jabeur wins, it will be a great day not just for women's tennis but for Arab and African tennis as well, because finally from that continent we are seeing a Grand Slam winner. So the women's final will be on September 11th, 1:30 a.m. IST. The men's final will happen on September 12th. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates from Sports Today. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, folks. Don't forget to check out the SportsTak English website and don't forget to download the SportsTak app. Thank you. Bye-bye.